each one of you will have to recognize your own personal conditioning. This is a book of Nisargadatta Maharaj, just released in December. So I just received it from the ashram. Very important thing has been jotted down in this book. It's called The Shower of Grace. And Nisargadatta Maharaj often said that this simple and direct knowledge was made to appear complicated. Pay attention. This simple and direct knowledge was made to appear complicated by owners of spiritual shops who could not afford to lose their audience by telling the truth. This is also one past conditioning in you. How can it be that I have reached this so quickly? It is a very simple and straightforward wisdom. Yes, some past spiritual shop that I went to put a conditioning, a belief in me that I'm going to take n number of lifetimes to understand it. This is one major attack that you can have at this stage. Yeah, so be aware of this one attack. It's only a past conditioning. It's not the truth. Yeah? And you hear it directly from the enlightened master. Yes. So beware. Whatever conditionings come up, recognize this is not me. Yeah? This is not me. It's not personal. It is not mine. I'm just knowing some past conditioning that is arising and falling. Yeah, I read out something to you from Maharaj's book also. We have certain beliefs that are our conditioning. And those are very deep-seated because you've been holding on to it for a long time in this dream world. Yeah? So study your thoughts, study your feelings. Again and again recognize, oh, this thought arose. It is not me. It is not personal. I am just knowing it. I do not have to react to every thought. Yes. When the mind comes down, you recognize the next step. Oh, I cannot react. I cannot act. I cannot think. I cannot do anything but know. Yeah? So every time you fall down, again climb up. You fall down, you climb up. You'll play snakes and ladders with yourself only now. Recognize this is happening. Yeah? You get bitten by your own snake. The snake of your own belief, your own conditioning, your own ego. I know it. Finish 99 wala. Cobra. Down to 9. You have to start recognizing my beliefs and conditionings are my only obstacles. Now start recognizing they are not mine only. Wake up, wake up. Yeah? Again and again you have to wake up. The problem is you're under a drug influence, okay? And you again start closing your eyes and going to sleep, and I shake you up every Sunday and you wake up. You're awake for Monday, Tuesday, again Wednesday, Thursday, you start sleeping. Again I have to wake you up. Yeah, you see, it's that addiction to the past belief, to that past conditioning. You have to be awake and alert again and again. I want to see you spiritually independent, standing on your own. You don't need even Ekta. Yeah? To stay awake, I don't need anybody. I want you to get to that point. Yes, don't make me a crutch. That is why I'm insisting you do self-exploration. On my own, I study my thoughts, I study my feelings, I understand, okay, this is a past belief, this is a past conditioning, this is a past attachment, it is just trying to attack me. Oh, these are just thoughts that are arising and passing away, which are a part of this dream. They are also part of this dream. I can only know the dream. I cannot change the dream. I cannot remove them. Yes, all I can do is recognize my true position. My true position is only knowing they are arising. Okay, they are arising, big deal. Let them arise, let them go away. I remain untouched. Okay, that's what I meant by you will not be able to shoo the tiger away from your dream. The tiger will be there. It is your manifestation. Yeah? So don't try to shoo the tiger away. Yeah? But also recognize I cannot be bitten by the tiger. I only know it like a movie. This is where the path becomes personal. Personal means what? Now I am exploring my own pitfalls. Where I fall, where I slip, where again I forget that I am the knower and I become the doer and experiencer. Again, I have to just recognize no, I'm just the knower. I cannot act, I cannot do. This is a wrong assumption that I was making. That's all it is. Yeah, so don't try to chase the tiger in the dream. Don't try to push any thought away. Don't try to push any feeling away. Let them arise, let them fall. Let that drama happen at home. I am nobody to change this dreamer's dream, his problem. This is the true meaning of surrender. Now, do you understand where that word came up from? It is not surrendering to an external guru or an external teacher or an idol in a temple. No. This is the meaning of surrender. Again and again, I drop this wrong assumption that I can change this dream, that I can change that thought in the dream or the feeling or the action. Very clear? Yeah. Again and again, wake up. Now you have to become spiritually independent. Even this world of people, situations, and things that I am experiencing, this knowledge session, this interaction, this is my real nature. This is consciousness. The background is not separate from the arisings on the background. The ocean is not separate from the waves that arise and fall on the ocean. Both are H2O. Both are pure consciousness. There is nothing more to know. Everything is consciousness. This entire dream world itself is consciousness. How can I say a wave is different than the ocean? Then there would be duality, but there is no duality here. When I actually go and touch a wave, touch the computer right now and see, do you experience anything other than awareness or consciousness? No, there is nothing else other than awareness or consciousness. So, really, this background and arisings, these were just terms to help me recognize that there is nothing else but one single field of knowingness. When this background, the witnessing background and the witnessed arising, both collapse, what do they collapse into? The field of knowingness. In that they arise and into that they collapse. That is my true nature. And I can recognize this experientially.
Yeah, thank you, Didi.
The next level is I see that thoughts are not different from the consciousness.
Yeah,
That has happened. You recognize they are not made of a different material. They are not different from consciousness. So consciousness is witnessing consciousness arise and fall. They are not really different, right? I've understood this. So consciousness is observing consciousness arise and fall. Again, another piece of consciousness arise and fall. Let's give them simple terms instead of giving them two separate words. Let's call this the space consciousness and let's call this object consciousness. Space consciousness is noticing that the object consciousness is arising in it and falling. Now is it clear? It is all pure consciousness. There is nothing else outside consciousness. Yeah? When this recognition happens, then you have recognized it is all one. It is all one means there is only Turiyatita. Yeah? It is the transcendental state. Means there is no separate waking, dreaming, deep sleep and a background on which it happens. It is all one. All one means the transcendental state. Means everything is consciousness. If it's easier using these words, use these words now. Space consciousness and object. The object arises in space, no? That's how I added space consciousness and object consciousness. Okay. When this dream character is in deep sleep, does this dream world exist for him? When he is in deep sleep, is the world existing? Is the Jagat there? It's not there. Forget the Jagat. Is his own body there in the state of deep sleep? Do you know that the body is lying on the bed? You don't even know that. This is the time you're the happiest. And there is no body, you're the happiest. You wake up and you say, I slept so well. I was so happy. It's a natural happiness that you have, that you experience, that you know every day when you wake up. You're the happiest when there is no body. You're the happiest when there is no world. What makes it the highest? It's just that some are continuously aware and in awareness, recognizing that this world is a dream. They are very clear and they don't go back. So the person dies. The dream character, the person, the feeling of I am this person, that completely dies in you. Yeah? There are some who cannot completely kill that person, who recognize the awareness, the consciousness, but again they get consumed. That is why Buddha said the technique is not foolproof unless somebody has recognized all these dependent origination links and has woken up to the truth that the I does not really exist. Yeah? That is why he gave these 12 links. Why? Because he said just the recognition of awareness or consciousness is not sufficient. That happens at jhana 6 on Buddha's path. He has 3 more jhanas after that. Jhana is a Pali way of saying dhyana. He has 3 more samadhis after that. Why? Because he says it's not sufficient to just recognize I am the awareness or consciousness. It has to be permanent, continuous recognition of I am not the person. Do you understand the difference between the two? Yeah. It's not just I am consciousness, a continuous permanent recognition of I am not the person. That is lacking in many, many people. In fact, even many Advaitin teachers lack it. That's where the spiritual shops, no? That was the term used in the book. That's where spiritual shops come up. They just recognize I am the awareness, consciousness, but the sense of I am the person does not die. That is why money has still importance. You give me money, I give you this teaching. The person still has an empty bowl in his hand. Yeah? Might be a spiritual teacher, but is carrying an empty bowl. What can an empty bowl give you? That's why Buddha was very, very clear. No, there has to be more. There is more. That more, I'm not saying is manufactured by Buddha, but it is lost somewhere. And lots of scriptures were lost by the time it came to Buddha. So he said that I'm not saying that this is new or manufactured or discovered by me. I'm just saying that it was there. Probably it has just come back to me. That's it. He never claimed ownership also of the ninth jhana that he added. So the person, the sense of I am this person, that needs to die. That is Ramana's speciality. So if you read about Ramana's enlightenment, they say the person in him died. Very few enlightenments are described in that way. Most of the enlightenment's description that you read, they attain the highest, they recognize they are the highest truth, they recognize I am the consciousness, I am purity. But the person died. I have only seen this description in Ramana's. Yeah, and somewhere even Nisargadatta Maharaj. Death of the person. I am this person. That needs to die. Now, you've started doing the book, I Am That. You'll have at least started watching the videos on your own online. I Am That is the beginner's book. Later on, there are higher teachings of Maharaj where he says, now you have to drop I Am That. He's saying go prior to consciousness. That's the title of the book, Prior to Consciousness. So he's gone to a higher level. So very few people have gone to the higher levels. Higher levels are simply this, that the person completely dies, that identity of I, this person called Ekta, who is a teacher, who is a wife, who is a daughter, all these identities completely get crumbled. The ego completely vanishes. And then everything appears like a dream. What will I do with your dream money? What use is your monopoly money to me? It doesn't work in my days. In my land, that money has no value. I cannot buy dust with it. Do you get it? That is the highest. The person needs to die. Are you recognizing it? You have recognized your awareness. Most of you have got it. But still the person is so alive and kicking and gets into the attachment and hatred and aversion and into passion, and all that still happens. The person has not completely died. The journey from here onwards is of this person dying. Ego doesn't like it, no? Ego is not going to make it easy for you. You recognize, no? The journey from here is the harder one. It was very easy to get till here. From here, it gets tougher. We'll get there, don't worry. you keep at it. Earnestness, honesty, integrity in your pursuit, and not allowing any of this dream world to pull you down anymore. That is why I insist Mona. You don't have to go around talking to people, I'm an Advaitin, I know this. Silent. Kichudin mone. Till my little sprout becomes a strong shrub, at least. It should have a strong bark. Then nobody can break me away from this knowledge. So you have reached the understanding of Ajatavada. Just the last part of Ajatavada is remaining for you, where the I completely dies, not just in conversation or reading or that, but interaction with the family, with the husband, with the neighbors, with work, with money. That is a very strong, um, whatever, firework in your life. Yeah? So these are the last few things that people have. Not everybody has. Everybody has different weak points. Somebody might have their son or daughter as that major firework in my life. Will completely burn down my house of Jnana. One little spark from the son or the daughter is sufficient. Yeah, somebody might have money as that, which will burn down my house of Jnana. Recognize your own sparks, your own fireworks in your life. One by one, you have to start working on those. This is where the personal work starts. Do you understand why we have one-on-ones now? Because everybody will have their own personal firework, right? It might not apply to everybody. So somebody needs to work personally on his particular thing, that this one thing pulls me away in the daytime, at work, in office, at home, wherever. Yeah, where you suddenly become this person called Ekta, and then you're fighting and you're grumbling and you're doing drama, and then you're sitting with your Advaita book on your head and saying, What is this knowledge? What have I done? And this whole thing, you became the person. Do you see this? So even when I recognize I am the awareness, consciousness, my journey is not complete. This I am the person needs to also fall away. Journey is divided into two parts. The journey towards consciousness or awareness, which you already have completed by now. Most of us have completed that journey. Now the next journey begins within awareness or consciousness. I also brought this up. No, here is where the fork starts happening. Some people become scholars of Advaita, and some people become real hardcore spiritualists. Scholars like to talk. I got it. This is good enough. I can show off with this. They stop their personal growth and they start teaching, whatever, showing off to friends. They stop their growth. They only listen now, or they read. They start writing books. They start translating. You see what I'm saying? Lost in words. You're still lost in this dream world. You're still thirsting to teach this dream world, get out of the dream. You've still not seen that your own journey is not complete. This is where spiritual shops open up. Now give me money for my translation work. Give me money. Buddha didn't charge, but I will charge. I'm teaching exactly what Buddha taught. Buddha taught for free, I am going to charge you money. And Adi Shankaracharya taught Advaita Vedanta. He taught free, but I am going to charge you money. This is where spiritual shops start. Scholar's path. Be wary of that path. Your journey is not complete. Now the journey within awareness begins. Here, in this journey, you have to be more in Mona, more in self-exploration, and let I, the person, die. The most revolutionary statement about this has been given by Nisargadatta Maharaj, where he said, Atma Prem is also ego. I am in love with the consciousness. I can only speak about the consciousness. I can only be that consciousness. That is all I am. This is also ego, he says. So, recognize Maharaj had reached that state where I, the person, had completely crumbled. So, don't consider your journey complete till the time I, the person, this belief in this person, completely crumbles. Very, very clear? Yes, just being now. Who is knowing? Do you recognize this knower is also has that tinge of ego in it? That I-ness is still there in knowing. I am knowing. That needs to drop. That is where this journey is taking you from that I, the field of knowingness, to just the presence. No I, the presence. I has dropped. Just the presence. Some of you have also started getting a glimpse of just the presence. Just the void. Recognize it. Actually, there is just the void. There is nothing else. Then you'll truly understand what Ramana meant by it is a screen on which there are images. He's calling this physical body mind also just an image that comes up and plays and goes away. The screen is that void. It's only, again, metaphorical. You have to experience it, recognize it. It's there. It's not manufactured. It's already there. You are that void. There is just the presence. So, moving from knowing presence to just the presence. Beyond that, it's indescribable. The words will start becoming lesser and lesser. You will start seeing that all shlokas, I'm just telling you 1-2 lines. I can't tell you more. There isn't more after that. Where there is something to describe, I do. But it becomes lesser and lesser and lesser. It's more of an inner journey. When the consciousness arises, why has it arisen? Because there is ignorance about its true nature. It has forgotten I am consciousness. So what has come up? I thought has come up. I thought is born. I am knowing. And then it knows the Nama Rupa, the Phassa. Because of the perception, I know. So the I know, the I-ness is born with the witness consciousness that is born. The witness consciousness is not permanent. The witness consciousness is not pure consciousness. So you cannot stop your journey there. You have to wait to recognize that this I, the consciousness, drops and there is that field of nothingness. That is pure consciousness. If you've not done Nisargadatta Maharaj's chapter number 5, please do it from I Am That. In that, the whole chapter is about the witness consciousness. He says the witness consciousness is born along with the body, it dies along with the body, which means it is a mental construct limited to this body-mind complex. This witness consciousness is a reflection of the pure consciousness. It just gives you that glimpse, I am awareness, I am consciousness, and you hit that wall. Beyond that, you cannot know it, you cannot experience anything. You can just be. Yeah? So witness consciousness itself is I thought. Itself is the sense of I am. It forgets that it is simply pure I. It becomes I am the body, I am the mind, my world, blah blah.
Thank you.